So Ocean Nancy 7, I like that call, off. Ocean 7, Oscar, Florida. From zs1uok, I'll copy over.
Yeah, KQSL, 100% copy. I have a beautiful copy, 5.9 to up to 5 dB into the red, no problems. How I copy you? I just started the live stream, so you can. I'll do a recording for you, and that means that when we're finished, or if you have a computer nearby, you type in my call sign in YouTube, and you'll be able to listen for yourself how you sound on the Hermes Lite, of course. So I'm using the Hermes Lite 2 here. I recommended John to buy the Micro PA50. It's a very small amplifier, which is more or less the same size as the Hermes Lite. It's just a little smaller, and it's a solid state amplifier that will bring up your power from the traditional 5 watt to more or less 40 whiskies, 50 whiskies if you want. I'm just using it at half of its capabilities because I don't need more to drive my other amplifier. I'm using the OM Power 2000 Plus, and the antenna is a 2-element cubical quad, which is at an altitude of about 16 meters off the ground there, Lyle. So, and yeah, it's doing pretty well. I've got the house between me and you, so we have one obstacle, and that's in the south. So I'm currently beaming towards the house, and that's why the southern part is not my strongest, how could I say, my strongest direction as far as my signal is concerned. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I love the Hermes Lite as well. I actually purchased it for one goal. My XYL is from Thailand, and I am traveling to Thailand in January and February, and it's an easy radio to just carry with you when you need to travel between countries. There is almost no suspicion that it looks like a radio because it does not even have a microphone input. So basically it's incognito, so you can easily travel with it. And the reason why I bought it is because it's pretty inexpensive, of course, but also it's easy to travel with it. The footprint is quite small. John is using the HLA 300 as well as an amplifier. But yeah, he's thinking of also, or I think he bought maybe now already, the Micro PA. Probably it's on its route to Belgium, so he can use the HLA amplifier. But the HLA might be also one that I could purchase and carry as well to Thailand when I go to the XYL location there, mate. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, propagation seems to still hang on. I know you were about to go to QRT, but hey, we got the propagation still there. I don't know how the signal was earlier on, but yeah, it's still doing fine for me there, mate. Pass my microphone back to you. This is Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox Fox returning to Zulu Sierra 1, Uniform Oscar Kilo, over.
Yeah, fantastic, Kurt. You know, your signal is not dropping at all. It's very, very consistent. I'm very surprised. You know, normally you start getting heavy QSB now, but it's steady as a rock. But just a quick one. Are you using the Hermes now, or what are you using now, Emma?
Yeah, I'm using the Hermes right now. I'm trafficking. I'm using the Hermes right now. That's what you can see on the live stream. So currently the Hermes, I have it at a bandwidth of 3,100 hertz, so I could widen the bandwidth. But you are using the Yaesu, right? If I'm right, the 700s. What was it? 770 or something, or 710? I'm not sure. I heard you telling this to the other station, Lyle, over.
Yeah, Kurt, I'm using a 710, the SDR, the 710. Yeah, I'll tell John it's the poor man's ANAT. But tell me, yeah, you're sounding good, but tell me just one thing. I I'm not very happy with that heat sink arrangement on the Hermes. Yeah, I'm thinking of cutting the casing and putting a better heat sink block. Fitting a better heat sink block. That little bit of aluminium that they supplied, I don't feel that's adequate enough to transfer the heat down to the main casing. When you transmit, is the casing of the Hermes heating up, over?
No, not at all. Of course, when I operate a long time, I would probably feel that it heats up to maybe a temperature of 40 degrees, a little bit more than my body temperature, maybe 45, but I've never been able to get it beyond 45 degrees, I think, even with my long transmissions, so no problems at all. On the other hand, I've got my micro PA that might just heat up to 49, sometimes 50 degrees, but it cuts off at I think 55 or something. But that's when I'm going into TX in FM, for example, and you get a continuous carrier. Then of course it uses or it dissipates more heat. But no issue at all for me. Yeah, I don't know what is the environment temperature in South Africa in the summertime. That might maybe be an issue. I'm not sure how the Hermes light is going to react to the hot and humid temperature in Thailand, because generally spoken it is more or less around 30 degrees, 34, sometimes even up to 40, and that might just maybe cause issues maybe with the small amplifier. I'm not sure, because it needs some cooling and there is some protection built in, and when it exceeds a specific temperature it just shuts off. So but so far so good. I haven't had any issues. The only problem that I had with the Hermes light was not related to the Hermes light, it was related to the computer that I was using for the Hermes light. I'm basically using a laptop, and apparently the Windows default settings is that it throttles the network, and it is done at the installation of the Windows operating system. It throttles because they try to save on battery, and it's some kind of a little joke, because of the throttling you sometimes have packet loss on your network, and this is the problem that I had in the beginning. I was struggling with it for almost a week until I got in touch with I guess the right person on one of the forums, and he told me, oh, just add this particular string into your registry of your Windows and see how it goes from there. And once I've added the registry entry where I disabled the throttling on the network, all problems just mysteriously just went away. So and no issues at all anymore. So now it's working fine. I think I can get even a better audio, but I think it's okay, because you got all these different audio adjustments you can make with the Hermes light in the pre-stage, then in the processing unit, which is also an equalizer, and then the post-processing unit you have the leveler and all that kind of stuff. I was talking to a gentleman in the United States, Kilo 7 Tango Victor, and he explained me more or less how you should configure. So I'm gonna make a video shortly, somewhere the next maybe few days, and put it online on my YouTube channel to explain people on how they should configure their Thetis software, so they get the best out of it and get the best audio. I'm just looking at my audio levels, and I'm even a little bit low on the audio on the input, so I could pump it up a little bit. Let me just do it a little bit. So I should actually touch the red line, so I'm just bringing it up slightly right now as we speak, and I think it's okay right now. So okay, there you go. I brought it up. Okay, I'll pass microphone back to you, Lyle. Sorry for my long transmission there, mate. Zulu Sierra 1 Uniform Oscar Kilo. This is Oscar November 7 Oscar Foxtrot, over.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I like it the way it is now there, Kurt. Ocean Nancy 7, Ocean Fox from zs1uok. You know, I actually like it exactly the way it is now. It's fine. It's not overmodulated at all. It's got some good punch to it. But I'm amazed that you know, the band is holding up so well. As a matter of interest, what antenna system are you using there, over?
Yeah, I'm currently using the two-element cubicle quad. The two-element cubicle quad at the moment. I personally don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm gonna be in Thailand. I might maybe not be able to set up a tower on my visit in January and February. I'm going there every year. But I'm thinking out of the box. I might maybe just buy helium balloons and yeah, put a dipole and hang it up on helium balloons. I don't know. I need to find solutions. I've got two big coconut trees right next to the house, so that would be another solution. Yeah, maybe some helium balloons would do the trick as well, mate. It should be possible. Just pull up a dipole or maybe even a one element delta loop or something and hang it up, fit it, and yeah, get it as high as you can with the air balloons or with the helium balloons. So maybe that's another solution, but trying to think out of the box, mate. Back to you, Lylova. Zulu Sierra 1 Uniform Oscar Kilo N7 OFF, over.
Yeah, no, I tell you that helium balloons is expensive, but it doesn't work. You know, in the early days, I tried to experiment with helium balloons. And you see, what happens is it does lift. It has got some lifting power, but what happens is the wind takes it and it pulls it out at an angle. So you don't get height anymore. It just flows away from you, and as the cable gets longer and longer and heavier, it pulls the balloon down. So a balloon is no good. And then I bought big expensive kites, you know, the big, like the thermal foil type kites, like the paragliders use. And the kite's the same thing. The moment you put a load on the kite, even I tried the box kite, you know, the boxy, like a rectangular type kite. I tried all sorts of kites as well. And it takes the wire out, but as the wire gets heavier, it pulls the kite down to the ground, you know, pulls it down low. And when the kite goes too low, it gets unstable. So all of that, I've tried all sorts of things. But you know, what I still want to try is what do you call it, the drone. But you see, I've got a method of powering the drone from the bottom. You see, you must power the drone from the ground with power, and then you can keep it running up there the whole day. There's another couple of tricks you've got to use to keep the antenna away from the power cable. But I'm still experimenting with that. But listen, yeah, I'm going to be the first one on your YouTube channel and to get all that information, especially the one with the Windows registry. The other question I want to ask you, Chris, what microphone system are you using there? Because I'll tell you, John sounds beautiful as well. Yours is also very good. But I wonder, are you just using a USB type a mic plug into the laptop, obviously? Or are you directly coupling, or are you coupling it to a small preamplifier unit there? Ocean Nancy 7, Ocean Florida, zs1uok, over.
Yeah, QSL zs1uok. This is on 7 off returning, yeah. No, I'm using the Behringer C3 microphone. I'm feeding a audio interface, so it goes from the Behringer, because it needs phantom power, to the audio interface, the UMC22 also by Behringer, and from there on there is a USB cable going to the computer and feeding the computer. I got the companion board from John. I'm basically using the companion board right now just for listening. I have my headphones connected to the companion board, to the Hermes Lite 2 Plus, if you can call it that way. I tried to connect this microphone, but the problem is it doesn't work because it needs phantom power. And I've got another microphone, but there was some hiss sound, so I still need to experiment and find another more appropriate microphone for the companion board. There is a couple of them that they recommend on the Hermes Lite 2 Plus website, but I'm gonna ask the question in one of the forums and see if other guys have had other experiences with other microphones, because the one over here, the one that John is using, is actually a USB microphone, and this one is just a standard dynamic condenser microphone connected to the I would say audio interface that is going through the computer, and then it's just connecting from there to the Hermes Lite over the network. So I've got the gigabit network here. I can also use it easily with my LAN network. I had issues there as well. I just ditched the Chinese routers that I had because there was some packet loss there as well. And currently I'm using Asus AX, RTAX 82 something like this router, which is actually also capable of doing 5 gigabits on the LAN network. So I also have Wi-Fi 6. I find it a little bit sad that, or a little bit disappointed that, for example, they didn't enable the Hermes in the Thetis, the client server feature. They have this feature in the console, SDR console. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the SDR console, which is an alternative software for the control of the Hermes Lite. But unfortunately, again, they did not implement the server client feature. And that is a pity, because I used the server client feature very often with my SDR receiver, the SDR Play. And it would be fantastic if they would do a little bit of an effort and make that work, because that would mean that you could operate your Hermes Lite remotely. It would open the door to have a real remote setup. You could remote it by using something like Google remote desktop or something like that, but it's a workaround. It's not really remote. Remote means that you have the software running locally, and it's going to do a TCP or UDP connection to the server, and from there on it will have the connection to the Hermes Lite, for example. But unfortunately, none of the software that is compatible with the Hermes Lite does have this feature enabled. It works on SDR console, but the Hermes Lite is not working. So for some reason, Simon, who is the guy who writes the software, has not implemented it yet, or maybe it will never be done. I don't know. Back to there, Lyle, I hope you understand me. Zulu Sierra 1 Uniform Oscar Kilo. This is Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot, over.
Yeah, okay, all copy there, fantastic, solid as anything, you're not missing one word. It's unbelievable, the conditions there. The propagation tonight is absolutely superb. I wonder if John is possibly listening. Kurt. Just another question. Now, I'm not familiar with this console board, or console package, whatever that is. I'm not sure if it's software or if it is some other interface board, but what I want to know from you is this. The internal, put it this way, the on-board sound card. Okay, the PC has got an on-board sound card. Is that good enough to run the Hermes, or must you fit an extra, a new sound card, a better, an upgraded sound card? What is the best to do? Is the original one okay, or should you upgrade the sound card?
It's up to you. You could normally just use a normal standard sound card that is in your, I would say, in your computer. That would do the trick. No problems at all. So I used a external sound card as well, but it needs to be of high quality. So be aware of that. I am actually before I had the companion board installed, because I went to visit John last week, and that's where I got the companion board and I got it installed. I need to you needed to also upgrade some software, or the gateware they call it, like the what is the EEPROM or whatever of the Hermes Lite, to be able to make the companion board work. Well, before I was using that one, I was basically using the audio interface, because the audio interface that I use my microphone with does also have a output, so it's also a little bit like a sound card, so a sound blaster, an external one. So yeah, you could just, if you can hook up just a speaker to the what is it, 2.5 millimeter jack, I think it is, in your computer, you're good to go as well. But you have the Hermes Lite already, or you just purchased it and you're waiting for it to arrive, Lyle? Am I correct with that? Zulu Sierra 1, Uniform Oscar Kilo, 170FF, over.
No, Chris. I've got one. I'm using it. I'm using mine, and I've got it for about 3-4 months already. Yeah, I've got it for about 4 months. And I've been receiving with it, playing with it, receiving, but I've never tried to transmit with it. I've never ever tried to transmit with it. I'm busy putting an amplifier together to run it with, you see. But in the meantime, as I say, I bought it's an HP PC, and it's a PC touch screen. So it's got a huge touch screen. It's about an 24 inch, yeah. It is a 24-inch touch screen, which makes I'm using the Thetis. I'm using the Thetis software. But now that is the other thing. Somebody was saying on one of those forums, they were saying that the Thetis only works well with the Anan. It doesn't work well with the Hermes. You should use that. What's the other HD2 or something? You will use the other software, huh?
Yeah, there's a couple of other softwares, but the other software is kind of basic, So the Thetis software is the most advanced in all the different softwares or programs that are compatible with the Hermes Lite. I prefer to actually use the Thetis because the filtering is way better than the SDR console. SDR console works pretty well, but there's a lot of adjustments that needs to be done on the Thetis software to make it work and use the Hermes Lite in its glory. I think I need to make a few videos that I need to actually make on my channel, on my YouTube channel, on how to configure everything. And to be honest with you, I'm not an expert, but by the time that or when time passes by, you get more and more expert in the software, and you start to understand more and more. You need to sync everything in a little bit, and then try to tweak this, tweak that, see what happens, see how the software reacts, and finally you get the crush of it, and you start to understand what this button does and what that button does. So slowly but surely I gather a lot of more, how could I say, knowledge. So it's a steep learning curve, but once I've got the knowledge gathered, and I'm confident that I am not giving any wrong information, that's where I probably start to make the videos. I hope to do it this way. If not, it's going to be next week, but there's going to be videos coming anyway about using TTIS with the Hermes Lite 2. So people who are just starting off with the Hermes Lite 2, they don't have to go through the pain that I've been going through. HI. Back to there, Lyle. Zulu Sierra 1, Uniform, Oscar Kilo, Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox Fox, over.
Yeah, okay, fine. Ocean Nancy 7, Ocean Florida, Belgium, zs1uok, Cape Town, South Africa. Yeah, look, I know, look, the receiving is pretty much okay. I don't have a problem there. It's working well. Very, very well. But as I say, I've never ever bothered to transmit. And of course, listen, the audio mic setup is always important, you know, to get the sound good. So there's always a lot of work to be done on the mic, especially with that repeating system like that. So, yeah, I was looking at, there was one particular that was similar to a Behringer. There was a lot of them for sale, very high-end mic preamp units in USB out. But they all wouldn't work. We couldn't get the software to run, the original factory software. I forget the name of it now. But there was a lot of it being sold used, you know, at these second-hand shops, like the cash converters and things. There are a lot of those things were flooding the market there, but the high-end product, but they were all faulty. The software, it wouldn't switch on. We couldn't get it to switch on. I just returned it to them. But I reckon if it had worked, it would have been quite a good item. So we said, I must look at getting a good, decent microphone system set up. But as I say, what I'll do is, I'll set it up and just use SDR, use another receiver or something, and to monitor yourself in it. That is the best way to do it. Never mind, some of these, you get a lot in South Africa, you have to test in at 06. And there's a lot of certain idiots there that's always hassling with people there with the audio and stuff there. They haven't a bloody clue what's going on, but they're always harassing people there. Something wrong with the audio. So, as I said, you can listen to yourself in these SDRs and you can get a pretty good idea of what it sounds like, you know. And that is the better way. The better way is to use the SDR than to try and get reports from people. Now that we have the SDR facility, the old days you never had. So you have to just rely on somebody else's judgment. But the people in this country here, especially from 06, hasn't got a damn clue. I hope they're listening to it. So anyway, no problem there, Kurt. It's been a wonderful QSO, and as I said, I'm blown away that the propagation was held out like this. It's fast. I've never ever been able to work past 10 o'clock. The band just shut off. Although the spectrum scope here is absolutely clear. I don't see any other stations around. I don't know what it looks like in Europe, but certainly in South Africa, I'm not seeing a lot on the screen here. So it looks like the band is staying open, especially for the two of us. Anyway, I'm sure John is glad that we finally made contact with each other. And if you don't mind, I'll definitely be use your YouTube as a source of reference, and I will post any questions if you don't mind, if I need to know anything. As I say, I'm more of a hardware person. More on the hardware side than the software. Look, I can handle myself to a degree with the software. But when it comes to fiddling around with the registry and manipulating with programs in that respect, to be honest with you, I'd rather leave it to somebody who knows exactly what they're doing. But as I said, I'm more on the practical side of things there. Anyway, I'll let you go, and as I say, we do chat quite often whenever we get the opportunity with John. Whenever he's not working and in the shack, I'm always around. I'm actually waiting for the short pass into the USA to open up. We normally chat to quite a few friends there. especially in the New York area. But when it comes to the winter season in South Africa, the short path drops. It disappears for 4 or 5 months plus. So I'm just waiting for that, because normally from now, we would be able to start talking into the United States. And we can go for about 2 hours, 3 hours, up until 1 in the morning and later. So, but in the meantime, Europe has been coming through quite nicely. And of course, this particular radio can handle the noise now, so it's really fantastic. Listen, with your signal, I'm running 18 dBs of attenuation on you. Now my gain is on half. And the DNR is on level 7, quite high. And I'm telling you, there is no background noise at all. It's just like you would receive on the Hermes or the A-Land. So I tell you, this little Yaesu isn't shabby at all. I tell you, it can definitely, I would take a rough guess and say it is almost an equivalent to that Hermes at the moment. Once I've got them side by side, got both running, and I'll put a changeover switch and then play with and see which is better. But certainly the 710, it beats the 480 Kenwood, the 756 3, the 7300, and this old 775 DSP. But I tell you this much, the 775 DSP, which is a 25-year-old ICOM, it's a 200-watt ICOM. It's a dual VFO, and that radio still receives better than all the others, the 7300 and the 480 and the 756. It really works well. I was thinking of selling it here, but I'm also a bit two-minded. So there you go. Anyway, I'll stand by for the time. I reckon you also need to get to bed. I don't know what work you are doing. I'm in the service industry here. We're self-employed and we do all sorts of things there. So that's the rest of the final Kurt. I don't want to keep you up, but it's been fantastic of you coming up and chatting. But I'm sure we'll speak again, and we'll definitely be able to work you in Thailand. Now, I would put up a quad loop there. A quad loop, you've already got 2 trees, you just need another 2 poles to pull it out, A quad loop is, I would say, is the best. Otherwise you need to use a flat vertical like a 5 dV or 4 dV or something, or something. But I would put up a loop and or insert halfway, so you pull it out small, get it up high. There's a lot of antennas. There's quite a few interesting people in Thailand there. So I have regular chats to them. Well, you should do well. Looking forward to working you from there as well. So that's going to be earlier in the evening. We have to work you at 5 o'clock. I'll put 4 or 5 in the late afternoon. I don't know what's the locale. That will be late evening in Thailand. I think it's about 10 o'clock and 5 hours ahead. So you'll be around 10 o'clock at night. 10, 11 will work you. So 73 is Oscar Nancy 7, Ocean, Florida. zs1uok.
Yeah, QSL, zs1uok, on7uff, yeah, QSL. Yeah, I'm gonna shut down the station as well. It's close to, 11, and yeah, I have a lot of work actually on my bucket list that I have to do tomorrow, so I prefer to, shed some light. 73 there, Lyle, thank you very much for the nice chat, and yeah, hopefully we can talk with you again. If you subscribe to the channel, you will see the new videos coming up with information regarding the Teti software and Hermes Lite, so it might be a guidance for you as well. Have a good evening and enjoy the DX, mate. Thanks for the chat. zs1uok ON7 OFF clear, and we're QRT. Good evening, mate.
Yeah, just thanks again. It is zs1uok, standing by. Oh, beautiful. What do you say? Is it Victor Yankee something, over? Yeah, and you don't even offer us any beer and pizza. Yeah, listen, I've moved the antenna. The name is Lyle. The name's Lyle, which is Lima Yankee, Lima Echo. We're in Cape Town. I'm doing about 900 watts into a 5-element motor band at about 60 feet. But okay, just let's get this right. You say you are VU, the VY. Where in Prince Edward Island, brother? Yeah, now you're bombing in here as well. You're 5 to 10, but you see what I've done. So what I've done, I bought one of these latest little Yaesu ST710. It's a complete full-on SDR transceiver. I tell you, John, this thing works. I tell you, I've got it on these lights. I've only used it for refueling. I haven't put it on the air because I don't have a suitable amplifier. So I'm busy building a very interesting amplifier to go with it. So it's actually a dual pallet Alpha Radio Tango 202KOE. It's a dual pallet. They're capable of 2K each put together. So we're going to drive this thing very lightly, so the intermod should be very good. So we can idle at our legal limit of 1K with ease. But I'm going to run it at a lower voltage as well, at 48 volts, with about 1 watt input from that Hermes light. So I reckon it's going to work out pretty well. So it's all together. I'm just going to do the final wiring and dump it in a nice box. But I've still got to set up this one CNC machine of mine. I want to engrave the faceplate. There's quite a bit of engraving and cutting out to do on the, it's got a 3mm or 3.5mm aluminium anodine faceplate, and I want to do some cutouts and stuff on there. So it's difficult to wire it out without the faceplate. You need all the controls in the front. So, but anyway, I've just got such a lot of other important irons in the fire has got to be of greater priority that I've got to do. So that is what's going to happen. So, but I tell you, the SDR is the name of the game today. As I say, I've had serious noise here. You see what's happening in this damn country here. We're having power outages like you wouldn't believe because the grid is literally on the point of collapse. Because the Dodos is trying to run the place and haven't got a damn clue there. But anyhow, that's another topic. So the result is that a hell of a lot of people have now installed solar systems, including myself. We've got about 18 kilowatts in here, which handles the house and everything else quite nicely. But the problem is in the daytime, particularly when the MPPT chargers are charging the batteries, that's when the noise floor really hits the roof. When it's inverting, it's not too bad. When it's producing power from the battery power, it's actually not bad at all. It is charging. But even when it charges from the main, from the utility, after it's gone off the grid and it comes back, that is the time you also get quite a lot of interference. But there's one hell of a lot of people have changed to LED lighting and stuff like that, and the noise floor is horrific here. And if you don't have an SDR-based type transceiver, the normal analog type or hybrid, it just can't handle it completely. And you sit in the city, rural out of the, in the sticks, it is better. I mean, there are some people who are lucky that they're not getting as much. But anyway, we played with this at a lot of other cities around it as well. But as I said, this little FD710 is my answer. It sorts things out. It really works well. In fact, we're hearing stations we never heard before. What was it yesterday? Or a few days ago, what's the guy in Canada, long past, over the South Pole? He was recording pedestrian mobile, there, John. He had a 7300 in a backpack filled with lithium batteries, which was quite light. When he was holding a staff, he had this wooden staff with some type of a vertical above it for an antenna, and he was marching around talking with this lot. And I pulled him out of the noise there at about 7:30 in the morning. It was quite late at night there. And he was marching around somewhere in Vancouver or somewhere. So it really is beautiful. I tell you, it notches out signal, does what it must do, just like the Hermes alarm clicks and that type of system. Anyway, back to you. I reckon you should have had enough pizza and beer by now. Victor Yankee 2, Whiskey, zs1uok. Hello?
Okay guys, I am going to shut down the stream. Thanks for being here. Thanks you, Andy. Thank you very much also, Paul. Yeah, I need to go to bed. You take care guys. QRT, bye bye.